Doing a quick oil change and filter on the 2008 Lexus RX-350 with the V6 Toyota engine in it. It is a canister oil filter, according to the book, I guess. So we're going to go down and underneath, and we're going to start draining the oil. We have a 14mm drain plug right there, and then you have the canister filter up underneath there, and you take a 3/8 drive extension and a ratchet, take out that centerpiece, and once that's out, you could drain the canister, I do believe, with the plastic insert that comes with the filter. And then you take an oil filter wrench, take the canister off. But let's drain the oil first. Line up your drain pan and take that out. Like, you'll see it. You'll start seeing when it starts. So we're gonna let that drain for a while. Drain it into one of the oil pans. We'll let that drain to a slow drip. So the oil is now down to slow drip. So we're gonna wipe off the drain pan, and we're gonna stick the drain plug back in, and we'll put a new gasket on. We put a new gasket on the drain plug just to prevent it from leaking. So now we got to shift everything over to the filter, which is about a foot toward the front. There is a canister filter, go ahead, that's up there. He's gonna take a 3/8 extension on a ratchet, righty tighty, lefty loosey. We're gonna hope it comes out. And that should be like a drain plug in it. And then you take this and pop this up in there. As far as the whole filter canister's coming off. That's gonna be interesting. It's not supposed to come off that way, but we'll see. Now go slow until you start seeing oil drip. If you start seeing oil drip, you wait. Now you can take that extension off and do it by hand. See it dripping?
Yeah.
So this is coming off like a normal oil filter.
So I don't need the...
You're not gonna, yeah. That center, we're gonna have to figure out how to get that centerpiece off. So now you just let this drip. And every so often you unturn it a little bit more. It's still on. Every so often you unscrew it a little bit more to try to get more oil out. So you could do like another half turn with your fingers on it. And then just let it drip. You're gonna get, and then when you go to take it off, just take a handful of paper towels and just wrap it, because you're gonna get soaked. So now we're just gonna grab paper towels, try to control some of that oil. Make sure you have a good grip on that so it doesn't fall. When you're turning it, always push up. There you go. Perfect. Didn't get a drop of oil on me. And now we're just gonna let that drain for a little bit. We'll go up above and we'll go clean the canister and switch out the filters. When you take the canister off, originally you're supposed to take this piece off and this part is supposed to stay. And then this here, you take a plug. Once this piece is out, you can take this and pop it up in there. What that does is that'll drain your filter so you don't get oil all over the place like we just got all over. But this is stuck. So we're gonna see if we can get, before we put it together, we're gonna see if we can unstick that so we can put a new O-ring on. And then inside of here would be your filter element. There's no up, there's no down. They're both the same, ups and down, but that's inside it. So that's your element, your filtering element itself. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna clean this. You see the O-ring right there? It comes with new O-rings. The small one is for inside here. The big one's for outside here. And it comes with that plastic drain plug or drainer, or whatever you want to call it. And then it comes with obviously a new element. So the new element, once this is all cleaned, will be put in here. A very important step is once you put your new O-rings on, make sure you put a little bit of oil on them. So when you're tightening it, the O-rings can slide in and they won't rip or tear. So we're going to take this and we're just going to clean this off with brake cleaner right now. So before I replace that O-ring, I'm going to go grab a big set of pliers and a ratchet. We're just going to take this off. I'll be right back. We ended up using a breaker bar to break that free. I'm going to take it off so I can show you how it's supposed to come off. So this is up like this in the car. You take this off here, which is just a cap basically. And then you take this piece, and I'm going to dump oil all over my garage floor. But what happens is you take this is still up in the car, let's say, and you twist and push that in. And then that there will drain your canister. So you're supposed to be a lot cleaner, supposed to stay cleaner doing the oil. See, there's that little plunger right there. So this is, pops in, and then all the oil comes out. You could even put a hose. You could even put a hose on this if you want to do that ahead of time. So now it's just a matter of cleaning this all up, cleaning the cap up, and let's hope that O-ring is the same O-ring that we need. So what I do is I put the O-ring in the groove, or what I have done is I put the O-ring in the groove. This O-ring seems to be stuck. Yeah, see, this O-ring is just burnt out and stuck. Hasn't been changed. Well, you can see that it's actually flat. So I'll put the new O-ring in here after it's cleaned, and then put that on. We'll be good to go. So the bowl is all clean, and now we're gonna switch out that old O-ring for the new O-ring. Put a little new oil on it, just so it's not bone dry. So that's the big one. Be careful. Is it? You gonna do the bottom one also? And we're actually using he's actually using the new 530 oil. So let me see that. See, so you set the O-ring in that groove first, and then you could take the cap, which is, everything's clean, and then you could just screw that cap in nice. So he's gonna bottom everything out by hand first, and then we'll tighten everything up once we get in, get it up in there. And then he's putting a new canister filter in, and that's it. So now this is ready to go up in once underneath is clean. So he's gonna clean up in there to make sure there's nothing, no dirt, no crud up there. Once he's satisfied, I'll get that filter going in by hand. The torque specs for the engine that we found online are the drain plug in the canister is 10 foot-pounds. The canister itself is 20 foot-pounds. And the oil pan drain plug is 30 pounds. So what's nice is a regular oil filter wrench, go ahead. A regular oil filter wrench fits over that canister on this engine. So we have that set at 20. So we'll do 20 first. And then once we get the clicks at 20, we will bring it back down to 10. And there he bottomed out. And hear that click? That means he's at the 20. So now he's gonna get another click. Do it one more time. Just to make sure. There you go. Okay, so that's a 3/8 drive torque wrench. So now he's gonna change it back down to 10 foot-pounds. And then it's just the extension will go right in there and he'll get a click on that. And get another one. And there you go. So that is all torque to spec. The specs we found online. We don't have a service manual, but that's what we've located. So hopefully it's right. So now he's gonna increase it to 30 foot-pounds. And then that's gonna be up on the oil drain plug itself that we just put in hand tight. So now he's gonna do 30 on that. Hold on, 30 is a lot. Go back to, go down to 20. See if you're at 20 already. I'm okay with 20 on it. I think 30 is gonna be a little bit too much on that. Because you were pushing harder on that than you were at the 20. So let's see if he's already at 20. There you go. I'm happy with 20. There you go. So for my own well-being, I'd rather not strip on an oil pan. So we're doing 20 on the oil pan. 30 seems to be a little bit too much on a oil plug. If it leaks, then we'll just tighten it back up. Now he's just cleaning the area. Make sure you reach in there any oil that dripped upon this pan, so that way we know if it leaks later. So before we put all the canister or the covers on, because there is a skid plate that goes over the canister, we're gonna show it how it goes. We're not gonna put it on yet though. All right, so that would go like that. Don't put it in. We're gonna leave that off until we fill the engine up with oil and run it for about a minute to make sure there's no leaks. So now we're done down here for temporarily. We're gonna go up top. The next step is just to put 6.5 quarts of oil in. It's 6.5 quarts with a filter, with a filter change. But we're gonna put 6.5 quarts of 530 in it is what the manufacturer calls for. We'll see you when the oil's full. 230?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's on the full line right there. So he's gonna put the dipstick back in and we're gonna start the car. We'll let the car run for like 30 seconds just to fill up the filter. And then we'll check it again once the car is off. If this car looks familiar, this is the one we did the radiator on and the thermostat. That's been 20 seconds so far. Let's give it another 10 seconds. And there's 30 seconds. So now we're just gonna check the oil on a dipstick. So he's gonna wipe it off. Yep. And then you're looking for those two in between. The oil's good between those two holes, but we know we're a 1/2 quart low. So it's just above that bottom hole. So in between those two holes is 1 full quart. So he is 1/2 quart low, so it was right in the middle of those two dots. So it is good. He only picked up 6 quarts. And this job is done. Once again, it's a 2008 Lexus RX-350. And that was the oil filter. And here is the instructions that came with the filter, if that helps you out at all, in case you have a filter that doesn't come with instructions. So that's the filter instructions. Thanks for watching. Oh, look at that. The tightness is right on the instructions. Perfect. Well, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.